Alright, so in our previous sessions we saw how to install Tomcat on different platforms. Now in this session we are going to deploy some application. We will come to this page again in a short while, but before let us deploy some application and let us see how this deployment goes. Okay, so if you go to download section you'll find this demo app.war. Okay, so right now it is in zipped format, so you can unzip that. So basically to deploy application onto Tomcat you have two ways. Either you can take the uncompressed format of your application, okay, or you can take a var and you need to put this file into a certain location. Okay, so let's say I take this compressed var file. A var file is nothing but a web archive. This is just like another zip file, okay, but it has certain format. For deployment we can take either this uncompressed format or we can take this demo app.var. Let me use this file for deployment purpose. So let me copy this. Okay, I have downloaded this file as we discussed earlier, so you can download this and let me copy this and let's go to our Tomcat installation. So we go to Tomcat 9 and we have a folder called web apps. Okay, so all our application is going to reside in this web apps folder by default. So what we need to do, we need to simply paste our application into this folder, and as you paste you will notice, so once you paste you will notice that our application is automatically deployed. Okay, and you can see that this deployment has deployment of web application archive finished in so and so milliseconds. So our application is deployed. Now let's check whether this thing is working or not. So let's open our application. So since we have deployed demo app, so let's put this name demo app, and if you're looking this page then your application is deployed successfully. And what we have done, we have taken a JSP which is getting rendered over here. It is very basic application, nothing fancy. So our application is deployed. One more thing, once you right now we pasted our application into this folder, and once the application is deployed it will be automatically uncompressed on its own. Okay, so you need not require to uncompress it. The other way around for deployment is that you directly put this application in an uncompressed format. Okay, so there are two ways to do it, and you notice that our application is automatically deployed. We need not require to restart the server. This may or may not happen. If you go to our, although we will discuss it later on as well, but if you go to our server.xml you will find a entry. If you scroll down you will find an entry which says auto deploy true. Okay, so and this is under this host tag. Okay, so if this is true then all your application that you would deploy will be automatically loaded and will be available for the client to access. Okay, so in case you do not want this auto deployment you can make this false. Okay, in that case every time you deploy your application then you need to restart the server. Okay, now if you go to default page of Tomcat, let me type localhost 8080. So if you go to this default page we have an application that comes with Tomcat called manager app. Okay, and through this app we can see the status of applications. Although this app is not used in production, but this is very useful when you're doing your development thing on your local machine. So let us see what this application does and what features it provides. So if you click this manager app you will get this pop-up which is asking for username and password. So before providing username password, we need to set this up. To set username password, we need to go to a file inside our configuration folder, and this file is tomcatusers.xml. Okay, so let's open this file. So basically this file contains the username, password and the role which is assigned to a user. So for accessing this application, we need to provide it a role. The role name is basically manager GUI, as you can see. Okay, so let me copy this and let's paste this. Let me paste it over here. Alright, so we have a username as Tomcat and the password, let's say the password for this be password. Okay, and there is a role assigned to it which is manager GUI. Okay, so we added this line and let me save this. Now whenever you make changes in any XML file, you need to restart the server. Okay, so to restart the server, first we bring it down. So you can go to console and press Ctrl C if you are working on Windows machine. So we pressed Ctrl C, then we need to go to bin, and again we need to start the server. So we have startup.bat for this purpose. Alright, so our server is started now. Now let's access this page again. So again we are provided with this login password pop-up. So this time we put our username as Tomcat and we kept the password as password only. Alright, so from this manager application you see the different applications that are deployed on Tomcat. So right now if you notice we deployed our demo app, so it is showing over here and its status is true. Okay, then you will see the number of sessions. So since we accessed only once from one user only, so right now it is showing our session as 1. Okay, if you go inside it you can see the session ID as well. Okay, and if you add some attribute to the session you can find all these things over here, but these things are useful when you are doing development task only, because this application is not generally deployed on production server. Okay, then we have all the list of applications. So these applications comes with Tomcat only. We have docs, examples, host manager and the manager which is we are accessing right now. Okay, if you go to web apps you can see docs, examples, host manager, manager and root. Root is doing nothing, but it is simply displaying a page that we saw as the default page, which is having links for these applications. Okay, so apart from this, manager application also provide a way to deploy WAR file. So you can locate the WAR file that you want to deploy and you can simply click deploy to deploy it over here, but this is rarely used. Okay, apart from this we have another application whose link is here, which is server status. So you can check the status of the server. So it will give you basic information like the Tomcat version we are using, the JVM version, the OS architecture, your IP, and some of the important parameters like physical memory given to this Tomcat instance. Okay, and the available memory. Then you can see the different JVM parameters like Eden space, survivor space, and these things are these information are important when you are doing some performance related stuff. Okay, we will come to it in a while, but for the time being just understand that what comes with Tomcat by default, and that stuff that we are discussing right now is for beginners only. So this is all about manager application.